Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky15, and I'll be giving you my Lucky15 predictions for today's horse racing action. Sorry I didn't make this video last night, I was quite busy last night and unfortunately didn't have time to do it, but I've uploaded it this morning and hopefully we can have a few winners today. So I'll get stuck into the action in a sec. Also as well, I just want to apologise for an awful statistic I gave in my Grand National preview special, which you could go back and check out. I said Willie Mullins had never won the Grand National. That statement is incorrect. He did win the Grand National back in 2005 with Hedgehunter, but since then he has not won the race. So he has won the race, but I still don't fancy Total Recall for the Grand National. Anyway, that's another subject for another day. For yesterday, it was a little bit annoying. We did have a winner with our selection at Wolverhampton for Eve Johnson Horton. It was a good race in the end by Farik in the colours of Simon Munir and Isaac Swade. Came on really well at the end under Charles Bishop, and in the end was a winner for us. Our other selection that ran was She's Gina. In the end was a well beaten favourite, but did run on quite promisingly in the end, suggesting maybe it does want the longer trip. It was just really outpaced in the race that day at Hereford, and in the end was quite disappointing. And our other two selections were due to run at Seville, but that got abandoned due to all the wet weather that's been going on over the last couple of weeks, and therefore we only had two runners that ran for us yesterday. Also as well, tonight I will be uploading my Aintree Festival Day 1 preview, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out tonight, so I'll do that later on. And I'm going to be getting stuck into today's horse racing action, and we're going to have to wait quite a while for our first selection today. I'm going to be waiting till the last race at Market Rasen in the bumper with a horse called the Bunnyman. Now, I have seen this one entered a few times before, and it has been in my brain to keep looking out for it, but it's been withdrawn for various reasons like cancelled meetings and wasn't on runner once or twice. So I have been looking forward to seeing this horse run. It's trained by Emma Lavelle, who is known for having some success in these type of races, and Patrick Cowley takes the ride for her. He's been riding a few winners for her this season. Going to be taking a good £5 off today. Also as well, this horse is going to be getting the 4-year-old allowance, but the thing that did attract me to it was its pedigree. It had a really nice pedigree. It had a bit of flat pedigree in its breeding, and also was related to Zamdi Man and Klein as well, that you might remember as a very good 2-mile hurdler for Evan Williams. So you like to think that it will definitely have the speed in the pedigree to go well in these kind of races, and it did cost €70,000 as a 3-year-old. So I thought there was quite a lot to like about this horse from the breeding. It's going to be carrying a nice low weight, and if it takes to Market Rasen, I think it could go very close and could definitely make the frame. So that's going to be our first selection to start us off, the Bunnyman in the 5:10 at Market Rasen. We then have to wait for the evening action at Kempton for our next selection. We go to the 7:15 with a horse called Coverham, around about 4-1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by James Eustace. Luke Morris takes the ride. The penny finally dropped for this horse last time out, winning over course and distance, but before that it had been a very consistent horse, often made the frame, and I thought maybe now it's got its head in front, it could definitely kick on. Luke Morris is a very good jockey booking, always does well on the all-weather, has won the all-weather championship many times, and I thought he had a really good chance of following up on this race. Also as well, handy draw from stall 3. You want to be drawn in the inside over the sprint trips, over the 7 furlongs, which this race is, so that's the tick in the box there, and I'm going to tip up Coverham as our second selection in the 7:15 at Kempton. Our next selection then sees us go over to Ireland on their all-weather action with a horse called Emadee at Dundalk, priced at 2-1 bookmakers at the moment. Made a good start to its career last season, winning maiden first time out, then finished 5th in a Group 3 and hasn't been seen since, but you like to think that it could definitely improve. It's trained by Andrew Slattery, Declan McDonough due to take the ride, and I thought really this horse could maybe kick on, and we know it goes well fresh from obviously winning its maiden first time out last season, and that's going to be for me currently 2-1 at the moment, and that runs in the 7:30 tonight at Dundalk, and that's our third selection. Our last selection is back at Kempton with a horse called Birds of Prey in the 8:15, priced around about 5-1 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Paul Nicholls. His daughter Megan takes the ride tonight, taking a good £5 off. This horse is quite interesting, I thought, had some good Irish form with 2 wins two wins in its last 2 starts at Gorham Park for John Ox. Hasn't been seen since. Might be going hurdling for Paul Nicholls in the long term. He's had a few horses like this, like White Cliffs of Dover, who have been a good flat horse and then gone on to go okay over the hurdles. So He's very good at these kind of horses, getting them in on the flat and the jumps, and this could be an interesting recruit for him. Rated 90, is going to be drawn in stall 10, but over the longer trips, that's not necessarily always a bad thing at Kempton. It's nearer the sprint trips that you want to be drawn on the inside, so stall 10 isn't the worst draw, but I thought he was a really interesting recruit, and I thought at 5 to 1 he was a good, interesting price to maybe make the frame. So they're the Lucky 15 selections for today, and hopefully we can have a few winners from those selections. If you've got any good tips today that you want to mention about, or anything you would like to say, please leave your comments in the comments box below. Also as well, please subscribe to the YouTube channel here at Lucky15. Also as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at Lucky15. That's all I've got to say. Please gamble responsibly, and I'll be seeing you soon.